Hi everyone, welcome to the Whole Doula Podcast. Today I'm actually coming to you myself with a solo episode and a little update on where I'm at in my business. So I am Mary Giordano, the host of the Whole Doula Podcast. I am a full spectrum doula, educator, counsellor, facilitator, community builder, business mentor, coach, and online course creator. And the podcast has now been running for about 6 months. So this episode is coming to you with a little bit of an update on where I am at. I hope you enjoy. Hi everyone, Mary here. So as I mentioned in the intro, I'm just giving you a bit of an update on where I'm at in my business for this episode. So the Whole Doula Podcast has now been running for a season, and I have recorded and shared now 14 conversations with fellow doulas, and I've really enjoyed exploring the landscape of what it means to be a doula for different people in different places. In recent weeks, I've started to record episodes for season 2, and I'm looking forward to speaking to lots and lots of more diverse birth workers as the weeks go by. So I started this podcast as a kind of ethnographic project to document and learn about the stories of fellow doulas and birth workers. I've had many a diverse conversation, and I look forward to having even more and more in the coming weeks, as I mentioned. Season 2 will be starting next week with a conversation with Lisa Marie Flores, a Yaqui Indigenous and Mexican birth worker in Fresno, California. But before we start hearing from a new group of other birth workers, I wanted to record a little solo episode to let you know where I'm at since I launched the podcast with my own story about 6 months ago. So at the end of 2023, I wound up the first cohort of the Intuitive Doula, which was a 9-month mentoring journey with a small bunch of doulas in which we explored a whole range of themes to develop interpersonal capacity as a doula and to help one recognise and respond to their internal compass. The doulas in the group told me that the space was like a course and a women's circle combined, which I really loved. I had fully intended to run the Intuitive Doula again this year, but the universe has been telling me to reconsider. So I'm working behind the scenes, to reconceptualize this offer. In the meantime, I'm also developing some ideas to start running quarterly doula makers circles to bring doulas together in my home to work on creative projects together. And I'm excited to share more about that in the coming weeks. If that's something that appeals to you and you're in my general geographic area, let me know. Get in touch to express your interest. Alongside all of this, I've been supporting a group of 13 passionate doulas in my early bird cohort of my new signature business course for doulas, an online course called the Savvy Doula, which I launched at the end of last year. We're now halfway through the group coaching sessions, and I'm really enjoying holding this space. The Savvy doulas moving through the business course are also getting a lot out of it, but don't just take it from me, listen to what they have to say. Firstly, Sarah says, I was drawn to your knowledge, expertise, and life experiences. You helped me realize that I can truly embody my own identity, skills, gifts, and those who really want to learn or receive from me will take action to do so. You challenged me to take my business seriously, to take the risk in investing in myself, to take the leap from hobby to true money making. Sarah also says that the videos are informative and easy to follow, the coaching calls are wonderful, and my responses during the calls are very intuitive, and I feel welcomed and at ease being part of the calls. Even through watching the recorded calls, I gain a lot. And another one of the doulas in the group, Julia, says, the best business decision I made was joining Mary's program, the Savvy Doula. Her course is so comprehensive, so much value in there. It's wholesome, full of so much of her doula love, but with savvy, practical business advice and support. Her innate wisdom and inner knowing naturally make her a leader in the birth worker space. So to be able to see how she conducts herself as a businesswoman and in turn shows you how you can apply this to yourself in your own business is just priceless. Hot tip, make sure you opt in for her Zoom mentoring calls. And that was from Julia. So the Savvy Doula is bringing me a lot of satisfaction as I continue to wind up my in-person family support. And it's a treasure trove that will continue to grow as I continue to make arrangements for guest lessons to be included on a whole range of topics that I'm not an expert in, from trauma-informed care to equity and anti-racism work in the birth space, to inclusive practice, gender inclusive practice, and so much more. So I stopped taking new inquiries for in-person birth and postpartum work many months ago, but I'm still finishing up with my existing clients that I had at the time. Actually, I just have one client still to go with 3 postpartum visits remaining. And after that, my books will be absolutely empty. No clients, no in-person clients, which feels amazing. I've been having some conversations with repeat clients, though, about potentially working together. And this is something that I'm open to if dates do align. But aside from that, I'm not taking any more in-person support inquiries for the foreseeable future. My nervous system is so relieved. It has taken me a whole 18 months to make this pivot, from when the hard truth finally hit me that I needed to pivot my business in order to be fulfilled as my interests change over time. It's been a long journey. I'm now exclusively working as a mentor to fellow doulas. Almost. And I'm in the process of launching the Savvy Doula in the United States. I'll also be relaunching again in Australia very soon, so watch this space. I'm loving the space I feel with a much freer calendar and the additional energy that I have to tend to my own needs and nervous system, and to that of my family and the family ecosystem. There's something about being off call at night and leaving my phone out of the bedroom and staying up late and not worrying about potentially getting caught out in the night and not having enough sleep that just is really, really freeing and exactly what I need at this season, in this season of my life. So there's a whole lot of other things going on in my business as well. Next month, I will start the organisations for the return visit of my mentor, Nauli Vinaver, who is a Mexican midwife who I'll be bringing to Australia again in April 2025 to share her wisdom, her essence, and her rich experience to birth workers in Australia. If you're interested in learning from Nauli, please get in touch and let me know. In the meantime, also behind the scenes, a bunch of birth workers in Melbourne and surrounds have been working to establish a closing ceremony collective to bring the medicine of the Mexican postpartum ritual to small groups of women for a more immersive healing experience, with as much authenticity as we can to recreate in this context, far from where it was originally practiced or is originally practiced. To follow along with this as it unfolds, you can check out the group on Instagram at Closing Ceremonies Collective. Last month, I also developed a free business masterclass for doulas to help you master your income, marketing, and mindset. You can find the link in the show notes if you'd like to watch the masterclass. On a personal note, I'm taking this year to focus on my own health and well-being and trying to find some stability in a tumultuous time for me as I navigate a brutal mental health disorder called PMDD, or premenstrual dysphoric disorder. It's something that I want to share more openly about eventually, but it still feels quite difficult because of the stigma that I feel associated to this condition and mental health generally, and also the difficulty in finding effective management strategies. If anyone else is living with this awful condition, I send my heart out to you. It's really, really tricky. So my hope is to find much more balance over the coming months and hopefully to return to university next year to finally start the masters that I've been wanting to undertake for the past 10 years or so. I'm really interested in researching intersecting topics between birth work, cross-cultural motherhood and birth, and practices of childbearing rituals, as well as the use of woven textiles to support women through significant rites of passage. So I'm not sure what else will unfold this year in my business, 2024, at this point, but I do know that the universe is somehow setting it all up for me, and I'm just trying to trust as I follow the signs to see where it is that I'm going. I'm excited to continue having more and more interesting and diverse conversations here on the podcast, especially from folks who are underrepresented. So if you're interested in telling me your story, get in touch via the link below. You can also find below links to my Savvy Doula business course, as well as my free business masterclass for doulas, The Empowered Doula. So check those out, and I hope you have a beautiful day, wherever it is you may be. I'll be back in a couple of weeks with a new episode with a guest as we move into season 2 of the Whole Doula Podcast. I hope you'll join me.